Well, in fact, we've also accessed the CCTV images, the visuals that are now coming in. This is the time when the explosion actually took place. We're given to understand this has happened in between 1 o'clock in the afternoon. This was during lunch time when the explosion took place. Take a look at these images that have been accessed and also a video that we have accessed moments after the blast took place.
ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮೊದಲು ನೋಡಿ
Well, in fact, these are the visuals that are being accessed by Republic TV. In fact, we're getting more details of the timing. This is what we're being told that this was roughly around 1 o'clock this afternoon when the explosion took place. So far, if you take a look at the investigation that has been carried out so far, there is also recovery of certain materials like nuts and bolts that were recovered by the team. The FSL team is already present to recreate the crime scene. The materials that have been found at the blast site has been sent to the FSL lab in Mariwala. 12-volt batteries, nuts and bolts and remains of the bag has also been found at the spot. Now, if you take a look at the CCTV images that have been accessed by Republic TV, clearly goes on to show the kind of pandemonium that took place immediately after the blast that took place, and also the number of people who were actually present. As of now, we're being told that 4 people have been critically injured and they've already been shifted to the intensive care unit. Let me go across to my colleague Prajwal, who's joined us on this broadcast. Prajwal, just walk us through the details, the timing of the explosion, the number of people who were present at the spot, and more importantly, as the police was also indicating that this was lunchtime when the explosion actually took place, so it is expected the number of people could have been way higher. So, of course, it comes across as a low-intensity blast if you simply go by some of the eyewitness accounts.
Absolutely, Shawan. And earlier, even when you were beginning with the show, you clearly mentioned the fact that there is an IT park. There are in fact 2 to 3 IT parks, around 5 to 6 international banks here, not national but international banks, which are your banking institutions down here in this part of the city. Even though it's on the outskirts of the city, 25 to 30 kilometers away, it's a proper IT hub, and therefore starting from 12 to 3 o'clock, it's a rush hour in this particular cafe as well. So somebody who had this particular understanding of the area, who knew exactly when the peak time would be, when the rush hour would be, because we usually go ahead and witness crowds in the evening, but during the afternoon in such in such cafes, you get to witness a lot of people coming in. Usually anytime it will be around 100 to 150, and considering the fact today was almost a weekend, because all these IT companies work only 5 days in a week, and most of them still opting to go on for a hybrid model with the work from home model as well. Thankfully, there were only 60 to 70 people according to eyewitnesses, because they rushed, there were only around 65 to 70 people who rushed out immediately, and majority of them, even if you look at it, I just want to show you these visuals, Shawan. Why I tell you this is because of the fact as to how quickly this particular incident has happened. Just focus on these food plates out here. You see that, there is half leftover food right there in the plates in itself after this particular loud blast was heard, and all these food that has been left, it has still been there because people seem to be having food at that point of time, and then they've rushed out immediately, which shows that it's been absolutely serious. Now I think the police are moving in. The cops are in fact coming outside over here. There seems to be some sort of action. I believe that they have already gone ahead and recreated this particular scene, particular crime scene as well. But at the same point of time, we will need to wait for the confirmation to come in. Let's see whether the Home Department will speak today or not, or will they take some more time. Back to you, Shawan.
Well, in fact, we have multiple CCTV images that have been accessed by Republic TV. This was exactly the moment when the explosion took place. Roughly about 4 to 5 CCTV cameras that cover this entire area clearly goes on to indicate that a bag was actually placed. Right now, the focus would essentially be in the investigation. When exactly was the bag placed? What is the nature of the explosive device that was kept inside that very bag? And was there a trigger? That trigger that was actually used. However, having said that, sources here in the national capital indicating that this is a low intensity blast, but the nature of the explosion, that confirmation can only come in after the FSL submits its report. The FSL team has already collected certain items from the very spot. It has gone to Mariwala is what we are picking up at this point in time. But if you take a closer look, frame by frame of the images that have been accessed by Republic TV, it clearly goes on to indicate that the number of people who were actually present at the very spot when the explosion took place, there is an indication that this could be a pre-planned conspiracy. Now, that is another angle that the investigative agencies are picking up. While we haven't heard this from the Karnataka police at this point in time, but my sources here in the national capital basically indicating that the placement of the bag and the timing of placing that bag certainly points towards the fact that this could be pre-planned. So once again, the question coming up, whether at all there was a terror group that has been linked to it or not, that is the reason why we're given to understand that the central agencies are also looking at whether at all there was actually an attempt to create some sort of panic in that very area. For all our viewers outside Bengaluru, the place where this explosion took place was roughly about 25 kilometers from the center of Bengaluru. And this was exactly the same very period when you would have a number of people actually coming in for their lunch. There are, we are being told that there are PGs that are close to that very area, number of students who were also present. So given the fact that this was, it appears, at least if you purely go by the preliminary investigation that has been carried out by the central agencies as well as the state police, there is an indication that there is an attempt that was created to bring in some sort of panic, and that is the reason why they're also looking at whether at all there is any particular terror group that has been linked or not. Also, remember, the central agency is currently working on that whether at all there is a pattern to it. In the past, to remember a similar sort of a low-intensity blast that took place in the state of Karnataka just about a couple of months ago, there is also an indication there too. Remember, it was assembled at a different place altogether. And right now the focus is from this very CCTV footages that are being examined by the central agencies along with the state police. They are looking at who exactly dropped that very bag where the explosives were kept. And secondly, was the person present there? Did he leave the bag and thereafter leave from that very spot? Is something that they are looking at. So the entire stretch, as you can see, entire stretch is currently going to be examined by the central agencies along with the state police to find out what's the entry as well as the exit route for the accused in this particular case. So all that put together, the examination is still underway. What I'm picking up from the report that has been submitted to the NSG here, as well as the national investigation that is coming in, we're being told that they're looking at all possible angles and the terror group. So let me try and explain this to our viewers right now who are tuning in with regards to the CCTV footage that we are playing out right now. The first frame that we are putting out, where you can clearly see people are running away soon after the explosion took place. The number of people, as we can perhaps count, clearly goes on to indicate, as the police was saying, that roughly about in that very area, there were about 50 to 60 people. That's why the list is essentially being drawn up right now to find out if at all anyone had spotted the person who had kept the bag. That's point number one. Point number two, we'll go to the second frame right now. Second frame is coming in from a different angle altogether. Remember, there are about 5 to 6 CCTV cameras that have been installed in that particular area, and that is being currently examined. I'm told that Smita is joining us from our Kannada newsroom, getting us more details. Smita, just walk us through the details that you're picking up. The CCTV footage clearly goes on to indicate that there was an attempt to create some sort of a panic. What more details are you picking up?
from the sources of the police, our reporters here in down Bangalore, Republic Canada's reporters are getting the information that there there are high chances of the usage of IED for the blast. And we have accessed the clear footages of, CCTV inside the Rameshwara Cafe. Two CCTV footages, camera 8 and camera 9, clearly showing the pictures of the time of the blast and the intensity of the blast. In these two visuals of the CCTV cameras, extracted from the Rameshwara Cafe inside area where, the customer used to sit and have their food, and even the other camera focusing on the food counter area. Both cameras have captured the moment of the blast, in which we can see in fraction of second, we can see the customers sitting there, having their food, enjoying their food, aram saying within fraction of second, a huge blast which covered up the entire area. And we can see in the camera 9 visuals, which CCTV camera 9, number 9 visuals, which we have extracted. There we can see after the blast, a lady is severely injured. According to the sources, she is Varnamba, who is at present hospitalized, and she is getting the treatment in ICU. So that is the lady where we can see in the camera 8 visuals who is on the ground. She's ailing, she's suffering, and have severely injured. And in another camera which is focused on the food counter, there also we can see that complete area was vandalized, and people inside the food counter and outside the customers, everybody were in panic. They didn't even know what is happening, what should they do. Immediately they have some person outside the Rameshwaram Cafe have called the police, and initially they have reported that there might be a cylinder blast happening inside. So when the police and the fire brigade came inside the Rameshwara Cafe and did the primary investigation, they have sourced out that this is not the case of a cylinder blast, but there might be high chances of a planned attack. IED was, the primary information which we are getting as there are high chances of usage of IED. That's why this case has been handed over to NIA also. Even the Home Minister, Raji Parmeshwar, is visiting the spot at 7 p.m. as per the information that we have got. And even the opposition party, BJP, has called for an press conference at 7:15. Even MP Tejasvi Surya have tweeted about the incident that he spoke to the founder of Rameshwara Cafe soon after the blast, and as per the information that he got from founder of Rameshwara Cafe, it was according to the founder of Rameshwara Cafe, it was not a cylinder blast, but some customer who has got the stuff in his bag has caused the blast. This is the information that MP Tejasvi Surya himself has shared in his Twitter account. And after that also, we Republic Canada's reporter who are in the ground or in continuous touch with the police and the investigative officers, and they are also almost, no, this is not yet official announcement, but there are high chances that IED is used in the blast. So that's why the case has been, planned to hand it over to NIA. Over to studio.